Alright, so the practice tournament is gonna start. We will play through all the maps. 3 rounds or 5 rounds, I guess 5 rounds per map, and it's just rounds mode. You just gather points together, and mainly it is just training, practicing, seeing what times the others can do, seeing what I can do, finding out when I struggle with some parts and I have to respawn, I have low speeds, what can I do to come further. There are parts where I'm really a bit unsure, but yeah. We're gonna see how it's going. This, for example, is already quite a difficult map because of the many jumps and transitions where you need always a certain speed for. And if you don't have that speed, well then every single part is shit. So this is like really about surviving. And it starts with this quarter pipe jump where I need to find a consistent line-up still to get that then always. Yeah, and now I'm ripped already. Because of my shit landing, I couldn't aim. And now I have to go for this safe route here, which is super awful. Like I'm not sure if there's anything else what you can do, but that definitely feels just shit to try it like that. Oh yeah, have to do it. I didn't find anything else yet. Then I miss speed now everywhere. For example, also for this jump into the bug slide. Like it's if you crash early on in this map, your run is kinda fucked up because nothing will work anymore. But that's how you can describe this map. It's a very important map to survive. And there it starts. Couldn't get a line, but here a respawn is much better than continuing. If I could have continued, because now I still have the speed, you know. Well, I had the speed until here. So yeah, this just shows how difficult these maps are when you don't really practice them. When you're not practiced yet. I really hope that I can practice a lot. It's a bit difficult because my parents are there. I forgot that this is also tricky here. I get 62 points at least. So yeah, it's all about surviving on this map. Then of course also pace still matters, all the people that survive. You can gain a lot of time, for example, in that bug slide. But for me at the moment, in my current state, I hope that improves a lot during one day. It's really all about getting that shit together in a run and survive the parts. Like I need to find out what I have to aim here so that the jumps always work. Now with that speed, how to do this jump. Yeah, you wanna land there, because then you can come into this. Nice. That was a bit wild, but look at that, I only lost 4 positions and that's it. I didn't lose anything more. Only 4 positions lost. And that is because you have the guys that survived And then you have the guys that didn't survive somewhere and they lose so much time that you can actually do this mistake, it's still okay. So I get now decent points, 276. Of course it was still not really the greatest round overall, because I had that one respawn in the middle and then of course the backslide exit. With the backslide I wasn't sure if I get around, inside enough around. So I kept the backslide very long and yeah. You saw the result. Couldn't get out of it, got already red boost that already accelerated me into the trees. But it's all learning process, so I find out like what kind of things can actually go wrong, yeah. And how to deal with that. It's very important. That's a very good jump, what the fuck. But this time I continue. But it's always annoying when you have a map that you cannot save, you know. Like this is the typical example of a map where it is just literally impossible to save something. Because you have to take these jumps. There is, like in this jump for example, it's aiming and it's knowing where to aim for. That was now the issue. But mainly it's just jumping. Of course the first big quarter pipe jump you can save it a little bit. By coming from the far right, that's important. And then jumping maybe very high, and it's very likely to get over that wall, yeah. So do I jump far enough? Yeah, I will. Sag mal. Wirklich. So many people overtook. The car made inverted steering I couldn't get into. And this is exactly what I didn't want. I wanted to jump further high so that my car doesn't jump behind, but then surprisingly it actually did jump behind. I was jumping too low. Why does inverted steering have? Sometimes when your car rolls backwards and you don't know if you're on backwards or forwards gear. And it does inverted steering sometimes at very low speeds. I got it now more often to start. That's good. Not getting the slowdown also good. That was too wide. That's why I lost some places. But I finished it with an 8th place, which is at least something. And that should be it, like 5 rounds per map, we go over 11 maps. So you see at the top times Heath actually got a 50.9. Heath's of course on a very special level now. He's very, very motivated and trained for that. So that's gonna be difficult. Lufok is interesting because he won the round. And it's interesting to see like what was his average time. So now comes the tube map, where the ending will be interesting because I was very yak on that, but I saw now. Luckily, I had a look at the second place run to check out what he did there, and saw then what probably the safe way would be. I'm not sure how safe it is though. I mean, it's also what I had as an idea. Hip. I hoped I could reach it in the warm-up, but probably I can't now. It's gonna end right before. Yeah, this is the other difficult section here. People are trying so fast in the records over this. There's so much risk involved in these tube maps always. Alright, let's go. Keeping the grip. Jumping out here. Doing a small mistake. Getting a slowdown when I jump onto the pipe. So, I shouldn't even go for it. Sometimes I still come to a part and I'm not sure like what do I actually wanna do. Like I have no plan. That's like the problem when you didn't train yet enough. So I have to find out that plan. Yeah, worked first try now for me. 29th. I mean, I'm not getting too many points with such a position, of course. If I didn't have that very avoidable respawn, it would have been kinda a good result. So the top players did a 100 and 101 in this round. So Lufok also seems to be very trained. So many people drive it faster, but I'm only 40th there. But a very slow landing there. I mean, you expect, of course, in every single section that people will do mistakes, and if I just survive, I should always gain positions rather than lose, even if I drive it slow. Yeah, 11th place. That's decent points. The problem is, of course, that in the cup itself, as such a consistent time, yeah, will bring me quite through some rounds, but it will be difficult to survive the Saturday with that, because it's just not fast enough in the end, yeah. So you really need to have the possibility of driving also a faster time, a faster run. That's quite important. It's not enough 11th place in this player field here. A lot of good players missing, obviously, that are not playing this practice tournament or that didn't make it onto the server. Yeah. So I tested it out now without breaking, just releasing, and then didn't get it at all. But yeah, if a run that I survive ends up on 11th place, it's not good enough. But of course, most of my training is still gonna come. '24th. So record, first place a 101 high, 102 high, 103s, 104s. Do you remember what I drove in the last round? In the round where I survived? I don't remember it. But yeah, these times I have to look out for. Like if I would drive consistent 104, it would be already good. 103 would be even though it's then not enough for first, it would be very good already with that consistency. Of course, in the end there are rounds where you need to be, where you find this, you need to win a round. There's always a question, can you do that if you don't have any fast times on the maps? But maybe there will be the rounds where nobody survives. Can happen. Oh my god. Unfortunate that I don't get more runs through, always with a small respawn or something. 100.2 by Heath, but he doesn't survive often, you realize that? Like when he is in first, he has 6 times, but didn't see him that often in first. He's also overall only on 8th, so that shows also that he's risking quite a lot. Appends 101.1 and then 102.9 for the next guy, so Appends is doing a good job, and I don't even know him that well. But he is then definitely practiced on these maps. Surprised that I'm so far behind position-wise. But well. On the other hand, everyone else on that server is probably prepared. I wanted to no life for this cup, by the way. That was really my aim. But it's so difficult. Oh, 6th place. Also, with a better end I could have been 2nd, and that's a 103. So I actually can do that. I can do that. But Appends has the pace that would maybe qualify him into the top 16 of this weekend. Because if he gets consistent 101, that is how you beat all the others, yeah? A 103, what I drove, many others can drive as well. But a 101, you see, is superior, and it's possible as he's driving it consistent. Also on this map was a lot more possible for me, because it's very safeable in the end, and I did do some mistakes. But here, yeah, I wonder, is there actually some other finish? Because I only saw one finish, and the last checkpoint, ring checkpoint, decides if you even have a chance to reach the finish, so... Alright, so you will see that the finish basically decides the whole map. Until there I only have to survive. This is a kind of remake also from an already existing Ascension ZRT map. You might, if you follow that a little bit, since Team 2020, then you might realize this kind of start. There is something changed in that section, because this left turn was usually in a wall, which made the track hard. Also this was like the one important section, like it was all about the tube, because the map ended kinda after the straight. There was only a bobsleigh turn in the end here. Now it's a big wall. But the most important thing is that this map here gets now this quarter pipe jump, and you need to hit this hole. You need to hit this hole. I'm not even hitting the checkpoint, what's that? Card just jumped so weird. So you need to find a way through this hole. And the finish is right under here. Yeah, don't have the time to do it differently. I have to get down and it's too late. Nah. Yeah, this is like the most garbage ending ever. And I really wonder, like, this is the most important part, but is there any possibility to save it? And you have so quickly a no finish. You saw that now, like, if you have a line through the checkpoint that doesn't give you the finish, then you're kinda in a mud, you know? I didn't want to drive there. Oh god. Actually only 17th. Okay, my run was shit, yeah, but that shows how many people actually survived in first try, because whoever has to respawn should land behind me. But yeah, this map here is like, boah. This ending decides the whole thing. And if you have a bad line through the checkpoint, you can't reach the finish, then the only way is double respawning, which means you have to do the whole quarter pipe jump again. And that's just so slow, it costs you a lot of time. And no finishes can easily happen on this, so I hope I find a setup. You don't really need a fast setup, it's just important to always hit that first try. If you are managing to do that, then GG. Seventh place. Mano. Would have been a good round now. Ow. Again 17th place. Focus doing 51s, Dessel 52, then quickly to 53. I could have gotten such a good position, man. I just slid down earlier than I expected, but everything of these is like learning process. You don't want to steer too much on the ice. You just want to let the car go, but you can't really move the nose downwards. It will slide down itself. And often a bit too early. That's what you have to watch out for. Man, every round something has to happen, yeah? My car got such a bump from this transition that I lost again like this kind of time. I would like to know what time I would drive if I just survive the run and the ending. A lot of 52s and 53s in front. But I bet that I also would end up at 53 at least. Even though I'm not sure with my ending. It might be that I jump way higher than the others, you know. Like I just want to make it. But the higher you jump, the more time you will lose, obviously. So tough decision, like how tight do you wanna go. The lower you jump, the more difficult it is to have really a straight fall through the checkpoint into the finish. Can't jump diagonally through the CP. Then you will miss the finish on the bottom, and that also with every respawn. You know? That makes this so difficult. Always 9th there. So far so good. Probably now I will miss the end. Or crash here, that didn't happen yet. Okay. Yeah, of course. And I miss. Obviously. I wonder if the finish is actually even placed right below the checkpoint. Hi Marius, do you feel confident? Not yet. My initial goal was really to train hard for this. But then Machi announced her cup, which happened like on Monday. And then the big question was, I came home from the holidays. The big question was, like, which cup do I focus how much? And then I decided to focus on Marchi until the Marchi final. Then I was now working, so couldn't train. Also before the Marchi final last week I was working quite often. There was just not much time, and I basically thought, okay, luckily before that weekend with the Ascension, I have I have 2 completely free days, Thursday and Friday, and then I train these maps there. Advantage is then all the maps are also out. I have records, good records where I can steal lines and so on. I don't have to find it out myself. But of course only 2 days of training. And as it is, after being now at work twice in a row again, yesterday I still needed some time to just sleep a bit longer to get, today, sleep a bit longer, get into the day, and yeah, then it's already so late that actually there is not much training possible. Just going once through all the 11 maps takes so much time. Ach, scheiße. Here I need to find out what I have to aim. And then learning all these weird things, especially on this map, that of course will take a while. But yeah, tomorrow is another day, and Saturday in theory as well, because the cup starts at 4 PM and there's a lot of time before 4 PM in theory. My issue, however, is that my family visits me. My father is already here since Tuesday, my mother will come over the weekend. I said all the time that this weekend sucks, but for them it was like the perfect weekend to visit, and now they are here, and it's not practical, because if I was now completely alone and free, then you can be sure I could play it the whole time and would do that also on Saturday. But I guess on Saturday, before the whole thing starts, I will not be able to do a lot. And that's like unfortunate. Also in the evenings. My father sleeps in the room where I have my PC. That means I cannot play anything in the evening. Also with evening I mean now like then towards midnight or in the early night or something. That are usually my most productive times when I have to train something. I can't do that because he's sleeping in this room. So I'm kinda chanceless, huh? What I did was watching a Granati VOD at least, and YouTube VOD from his discovery of a map as training already yesterday, but scheiße. No, I had such a good run, and now this. Yeah, beautiful. I just lost the whole run. What the fuck? That was such a clean run, and then comes the end cut and I have the wrong line, and then I move my computer to another room. That's way too much. Also in which room? Like, yeah, I have my own sleep room, but that's also not nice to move it there, and way too much to do for that. What I could do is using my laptop. Yeah, that's a possibility. I could use my laptop and train on that then. But then on the other hand, I really wonder, does it make sense? I mean, the thing is, when my father goes sleep, I could also say then I go also sleep. Yeah, and on the next day he is leaving very early, because also it's now during the week still, so tomorrow as well, he's leaving very early, driving to work. And when I'm just also waking up quite early in the day, then I have of course a full day ahead of me where I can practice, yeah, so that's definitely helpful then. That makes a lot of sense. But there's one issue that I have. I can already say what it is. I played a lot of Serrator Cups already. Yeah. And in these Serrator Cups, the problem is that the whole cup is in the evening, or from the afternoon to the evening, and it's super long. But the last matches in the day are always the most important matches. Yeah, obviously. Like on the Saturday, I think it will be usually very easy to survive. all the matches until the very last match. Or matches maybe. Depends on how good I become now, still on these maps. And then, on Saturday, you wanna be fit in that last match. You wanna be fully fit, so that you qualify for Sunday. And on Sunday also, the most important matches are of course very in the end. And that's like a big issue for me. In other Serrator Cups, I realized I was just waking up too early in theory. I was always full focused in my absolute prime when the first round of the cup started, and I was completely dominating there. But when the important matches came and the pressure comes, then my focus got less. And that was a very bad timing for less focus, yeah, because that's the part where you wanna have the most amount of focus. And that was really a big problem for me. That was a very big problem. And then I thought myself, when I play the next cup, the next time a Serrator Cup, then I have to make sure that I kinda change my sleeping rhythm and that I wake up right before the cup starts. Yeah, I want to sleep long, but I wanna wake up right before the cup starts. So basically training until deep in the night and then waking up very late right before the cup starts, so that in the evening when the important matches are, I'm still very focused, you know? That's like the idea. I would like to do that now, and I could also change my sleeping rhythm a little bit, because I have 4 days in a row now free from work. But now my parents are there. And as I can't play in the evening now, as it's not possible to play in the evening, the only logical sense would be to also go sleeping early. But that means that on Friday and also on Saturday, I'm awake very early. And that means that my whole problem with the ending, with the last matches of the day, I will be then awake already since like 12-13 hours. And that's what I'm afraid of, because I think that the focus will not be there, and I knew that already before, and I wanted to change it when I played the next cup, but I know already that this is not gonna work, because when I'm not able to play at from midnight on, or even from 23 something onwards, then it doesn't make sense to also just stay awake and sleep longer the next day, because I will still miss training overall. Naja. Okay. So you saw how this track works. I could get like 11th places when I survived. I lost positions in the end, interestingly. I wonder how they did the ending so good and so consistent. Yeah, on this map I am yak with the ending. I wanted so much, like a Serrator Cup where I'm full trained again. I was really hyped for these Ascension Cups. But there's always something else as well. Marchi Monday, 24 maps to train, yeah. It's just too much, yeah. And then Serrator cooks 11 maps, like at least not 15, but still 11 more maps than from Serrator. It is just too much. Like, how do you want to train all of this when you have work? Back when I was a student, it was possible. It was also there not optimal, because I had not all the time for one cup. I had to split it. But it was possible, because you always could create some free time if you wanted as a student. But at the work, that's not possible. Like, I have to go to the work, I have to be there. I cannot just not go. So, and that was a little bit different when I was a student. I could, for some things, just say I just don't go there. and I still passed the exams. That was possible. In theory, you could do that, but that's not possible in a job. And all these other people here, they are in this age, yeah, where I had a lot of free time. In theory, you don't have much free time. If you really learn a lot. Nah, I would have been 7th if I got the ending, I guess. Definitely 8th. But the ending is really tough here. But yeah, nowadays it's not possible anymore to be that. Like, it was always my issue that I focused for too many cups, yeah. But in this case, like, I was qualified for Marchi Monday, and it didn't cost me any. It didn't cost me much to qualify for that. So when I'm qualified for Marchi Monday, then I of course look at the 24 maps, and also there I wasn't very trained overall. I was trained, but not no-lived, not on all maps. I kinda went out in Marchi Monday just because of know-how, by the way. Also, I was talking with Lars after, yeah, of course you couldn't see that because I ended the stream. So after the cup, I was talking with Lars about that track where I went out. And he then said what he does in the section. Can I get that? So he said what he did. It was basically the shortest map of the whole cup, yeah, which was then quickly over. And my issue was always that when my car was on its roof there and getting into the water pipe, it kinda got that big, also in German I would say, es hat verreist, es ist verrissen. Yeah, I don't know in English, but my car didn't get stable downwards the water pipe, and I thought all the time that it's not possible to get it very smooth all the time. I thought that's not possible, it's just luck. You had no brakes, so you couldn't do braking or anything there anyway, no. And yeah, Lars said what he is doing is that he is holding the brake button. That he is steering the whole way when he's upside down. Unlucky. Was a good place. Wow, 18th. Beautiful. So what he said is, I just steer the whole way when I'm upside down. And I thought like, yeah, okay, you can steer, but what kind of effect shall that have? Well, why should that fix my issue with the landing? Yeah. And then I did it. I went to the map after the Marchi Monday final and did it. And it was butter smooth every time. I don't know why, I don't understand the physics behind that. Yeah, I have no clue why that worked, but it worked. So if I just had known that, this map would have been really possible and easy to survive. But if the other players knew it, yeah, and I'm the only one who didn't know, then it's not a surprise that I got knocked out there. I was chanceless, because this map was so short, nothing else was happening. Yeah, it was the only part where you could gain or lose time. So it was like literally impossible for me when I have like such a random thing that also didn't work at all in all the rounds. When I have such a random line, it is not a surprise that I get knocked out on that. Yeah, and it was only a know-how thing. Like if I'm fully no-lived and would find out these tricks on every map, 4th place, the best one so far, also PB. If I would find out these things, then I'm of course surviving this map. And the maps afterwards, that until the prize money, yeah, I'm kinda annoyed by that, because the maps afterwards were also maps where I said myself, oh god, I'm really afraid of those. Yeah, also I don't know if I would reach the prize money, I thought, but then I saw how the people played on it, and the people played really shit. So these all these maps were pretty free to survive, and that means also if I just had a know-how on that map, the chance of me getting into the top 8 and into the prize money was kinda big. But I went out by just a know-how thing then on the shortest map, and that sucks. Yeah, that really sucks. Just because I didn't know that, and was then kinda chanceless on it, because nothing else happens, and it's the shortest map, it was quickly over, yeah, out of nowhere. And the map felt good for me in the training, in the practice. Like, I had 3 okay-ish ones, and then I thought, okay, I don't need to train it or practice it longer. That was no. I played on that day, on that Monday, every map, 3 rounds each. That is what I did to realize like how are the maps going for me. Am I feeling okay on them or not? And that was a map that I felt okay on, so I didn't play it again. Yeah, and then I go out on it because I missed something. If I had shit rounds there, I would have gone in again and checked if I find something. And maybe I would have found out that the records are maybe doing that trick with just steering. Yeah. And that is like when you miss training, and that's also a thing for this cup. When you miss training, then you might miss some of these extra ideas, some of these lines, some of these tricks. Yeah, and that was such a crucial one, just because the map is over afterwards. Yeah, and already thought, like, how far could I have come in that match? Like, how far could I have come in the Marchi Monday final if I just survived this one track? Also, there were some close calls. I would not say that the prize money was 100% guaranteed, because in the top 9 we had the tech map. And sometimes I'm also choking with my drifts quite a lot. But it was definitely doable to survive it. Like, I didn't feel that bad on it. The top 8 map, however, yeah, once we got into the prize money, there was this map where you had to decide if you go risky finish with a kind of difficult one, or if you go into if you go safe finish, which is slower. And in the actually everyone went risky. And I just thought, like, if I did the safe finish every time, because probably in the first round I would have gone safe, and the first round would have gained me like a 4th place of the top 8, or maybe even 3rd, and then I would have gone safe again for sure. If I did 3 times safe finish, like, would I have made it through? It is very close. It would have been super close with Lars. If it's working out for me, and I survived that map, then I would have survived the next map probably as well. The next map I would have survived as well, most likely. And then I would have ended up in the round where Lars was. So it was basically possible for me in the Marchi Monday to also get top 6, where Lars was. The top 6, high chance that I would have had the same ending like Lars. Like, I think the pace on this map was not fully there for me, so it's kinda likely that I would have died there. But I can't really say. I don't really know my pace exactly and what I would have done in that moment. Let's say I would have been in a very similar situation than last. The first round, no matter how I drive it, I would have been last, for sure. In the second round, however, there were these crashes at the finish, so I maybe would have gotten kind of the same position than last. So it would have been very similar, and the last round would have decided. Where last then was on 5th, which was not really good enough, tried to risk and failed, and yeah. Now the question is what kind of position was actually needed in that round. But yeah, I would have had a pretty similar happening, I think. Yeah, I'm by the way completely no trained on this map, but who needs training here? Nobody. Also, 57 is driven a lot. Thomas Shaw got a 56. I see in 10th place, for example, is Fyrene. Fyrene I played against in another cup this year. So, also if he is there, I definitely can beat it. Also there are some players in the top places where I have the confidence to say I should be better than them. And of course, training matters a lot. It is for me actually pretty good that there are so many Neoslide maps. You could think, because I do Neoslides always when there's a drift. I'm always Neosliding, and I do it since ages, and yeah, it should be so good for me, but actually since recent months I don't really like Neoslides anymore, because they always make the pad broken. They are very bad for the pad, so I don't really like to do them. They are so violent, you know. So I'm really not feeling it to do these Neoslides all the time. Not so happy to do them. But that's for me then the little bit of an issue here with these tracks. But if we had these kind of maps like 7-8 years ago in the Serrator Cups, that would have been perfect. Because back then I knew how to Neoslide, most of the community didn't know. And I was good and always hyped when they came, so I would have done really well. But here it's really, whenever we have these Neoslides, I'm doing a lot of pressure to my stick. Are people cutting, or how are they already in a checkpoint? Yeah. With place, but the ending is the most difficult thing. Yeah, to be honest, maybe in the end the Neoslide would be the best strat, but maybe I shouldn't even go for it. Also the world record is doing like a double slide. First a slide to the left and then a Neoslide to the right. But this combination, it makes a lot of sense, but I really don't like to do it. Because that's like one of these things where I definitely break my pad with. I have to go so quickly from the left, ending of the left turn into the right Neoslide. That's such a quick combination that I just don't like to do that. And it would be the better way for me, I think. Ah, here's a checkpoint. Ah, forgot. And what I did last round, it could maybe be a possible line. But you see that I pretty freely get decent positions here. The problem is the main opponents that you will have in the end in order to qualify for Lille. Well, they are also all good drivers and will be good on this map. But braking for that is also not nice to drive. I don't know. As a 57 I drove now as well. The top players are getting 56. Actually, 6 people got 56 now. That didn't happen in the other rounds. The 6th place is like literally just 1700s behind first. Okay, that was a sick round in front. Yeah, I moved up to 60th place with this map. Just need to get a little bit quicker on it and then it's fine. This is an interesting map here. Could in theory be actually a decent map for me. I don't know, we will see. Here I don't know if people have found like a really good setup for the start. Like if there is something that they always press which always works well. At the moment I think that this start here is just every round you have to just react on what your car is doing. But you like to find some consistency in the beginning, yeah, so that you know like how fast you get. That you know that you always get a fast and always the same start, but I'm not sure if that's possible. So for me it is definitely every round I have to see what my car is doing and then I have to react on each bump over the Zeppelins with what I press. Yeah, that's how I think that this is working. But maybe people found something, yeah, but it's hard to find out. Even if you watch world records, it's hard to find out. But I think that how I do it is probably fine. Because I actually realized that I was ahead of the world record. Like at my 3rd attempt over the start or something, I already was ahead of the world record. But you can also get it kinda bad, like I did now in the beginning. I have a good ending though. Yeah. Fuck. The ending was good and now I'm 5th. Or first. Fuck champ. And then I touch. Third place. I lost so much time, but still 3rd. My best position so far. But I told you, right before that round, that this map could be actually good for me. And there you go, 3rd place, directly. Because you don't need to train for that start. Also, if it's correct that there might be no setup for the whole thing, then you don't need to train that. Yeah. Then I can go with no train into this. It's still, of course, then in the end, a lot of luck how fast you get it. I can also get it 5 times bad. But there's, of course, still a bit of skill involved to realize what your car's doing and to react on that. But now you have the example where it's really not going too great for me. Like, nothing here was fast. And I can't even make this jump. So I have to go here, which is very, very slow. Like I'm multiple seconds slower than last round. So you saw the 2 extremes here in this part. There's still 2 people that I could overtake at the finish jump. I got 1. And hello MQ Xens. god. What I need to practice here on this map though is the midsection. The precision. I don't like precision in pressure situations. Always struggle with that. Beautiful. That could have been so good if I just got it like that. But I got some bump that destroyed the whole thing. Shit. Oh yeah. There was a lot more possible this round. Because the start was fast again. A lot of 45s and a 44-0-0 for first. This guy is always going way too fast. Like, what the fuck? No. Sometimes it feels like you cannot do anything. I don't know what kind of grip I have here. Oh wow. Made so many positions there, apparently. 7th place after that start. I mean, winning time 46.5, which is relatively slow. I had a 46 as well in the first round. That was bad. But I kept that. I made good points. I'm exactly on 8,000. Will definitely catch up to more people. All the guys that are low in the top 10 didn't really score well. And I choked so many rounds, yeah. If I full focused on these, then I would be definitely over 1,000 points further ahead. But it doesn't matter too much. Yeah, this here is could be interesting. I guess that my consistency in the ending jump is not there yet. So that is my struggle, I think. The last jump. Also the jump into the grass, I'm not really sure how to do that. How do keyboard players do the start, by the way? Does the action key work? Also, do they get around? Do they have to break? Does anyone know how keyboard players are doing this? Because I steer 90%. With action key you can only go 80%. And I'm not sure if you get around with 80%. Action K4 works for them, okay. That worked. That also worked. I thought I will die in the end, because I didn't practice this a lot. $8,900. Starts with 89. That was a terrible start. I was always afraid to steer more. Ah! Yeah, when you have a bad line then through the start, then you cannot overjump the tire that is completely in the way. It's very, very tough. If you don't have the lines tough, and that's like on so many maps the case, that you get really punished hard for not having the line. Yeah, here I need to find out when do you have to release and when do you accelerate again. So the issue is you cannot release too late. You cannot just jump, be too fast in a jump and release. You will then be able to get through this gap like this guy here does, but you will not overjump into the downhill. That's not working like that. I don't know how difficult it is to land on the downhill. I got it now in that first attempt, but maybe it's actually super difficult to do. I don't know. That's too far right, I guess. Wow! It couldn't have worked better. That was fast. I had that already once in this jump in my very short amount of training. I had it once that I actually touched something and made a flip. But that was like so dead, this jump. And then it was so fast, the exit. That's actually crazy. Yeah, but aiming, really an issue for me. That was still good. That early respawn and then getting it super smooth, however, is better than if I would than the people that would jump through the gap but land on the uphill. I guess that I would still pass them. So 9th place was still okay with that. But of course there was a lot more possible if I didn't need to respawn that. This, by the way, map 8 from 11, round 4 of 5. So one more round here and then 3 more maps. That was slow with the snow. If I hit the ending, I still would get a good position overall. Too far left this time. Yeah, this is now a double respawn, so here I should have respawned immediately. Yeah, do you see my aiming? Like, that's so bad. How? How am I driving that so bad? Now, finally. It was also needed now. I have to find out how I can line up. You can do that with the side of the road, the grass road. So this map, oi. And now we come to the maps where that came up before the whole thing started. Now this map here is gonna be a challenge. So 4 to 5 seconds are gonna be decided of one single thing. And it's the left turn through the checkpoint here. And what speed you have. And now I didn't have enough. Which means I need to release here and land in this downhill. But that's gonna be super slow. You lose 4 or 5 seconds. But getting the fast way is so difficult. Upsala. I need to get a feeling for it. The alternative, I have also a different line. I could try that out in the first round maybe. The alternative line would go around the triangle, like on the outside. Blah. It's very tight there. Barely any space. But you have, of course, more way that you travel, so you can easier get to the speed that you need. So let's see. But I really don't know yet how to do this map in rounds. You could also, on purpose, never try to get enough speed and just drive as fast as you can the other way. But that's really shit as well. So what is my speed? Not enough. I need 256. Yeah, now I'm super far behind in that CP, of course. It's very difficult to find out what the best way is there. And all the people that maybe didn't even try to get the top fin are now ahead, you know. That's like a bit the problem. So depending on in what round you are, you could decide for different stuff, because I didn't really do big mistakes, but many people beat me now, which is quite annoying. I didn't do a super huge mistakes in this round. Would kinda think to end up further in front. But the problem is I lose so much time trying to get enough speed, and when I don't get that, and I drive the turn before so slow and then so outside, yeah, I lose like easily a second if you just drew the corner. And if I don't get the speed and I have to release anyway, then I just lost a second to all these other players that didn't even go for it. Yeah. That's the question, like what is the idea here? How do you want to do this? Not enough. So I would really think in early stages, in early rounds, it would make sense to not go for it. Because it's a very clean round otherwise. And we had other pace maps on the server so far in the match. And on these pace maps I was always getting good positions. And here it's just missing something then. For all the people at the end of the top 10 got good points there. Gold random speed salt, so they will get away a little bit. Yeah, and for me the problem, also the big question is, outside of the triangle, barely any space. Yeah, so very dangerous to do. And there's also the checkpoint in the way. Like if you get far outside with a lot of speed, then the checkpoint might be also in the way. But overall you have of course a bit more road that you travel accelerating, so you can then theoretically get the speed easier. The other idea that I have, I will try it now again. All these things worked of course first try when I tried them first. Is going inside. I will try it now, but it's gonna be really tired. Nah, rip. I'm not sure if it's now faster or slower than what I had the other rounds before. Also usually you completely flip over and then it's very bad. It's kind of the same now. A bit behind maybe. Yeah, also the other thing that you can do in this is like inside, where you have more space overall. Of course you want to go not fully inside here. You wanna go as far outside as possible, but still inside of this triangle. Yeah, so very close to here. And then it's of course just, you have to get around the corner as well, yeah? You can go with a lot of speed through this corner, but just don't make it around. That's also an issue. That's very tough. Like, it's also then blind and And you could just go on purpose as fast as possible through the corner and not going for exit speed at all. Probably an interesting idea in order to beat all the other guys. But yeah, the question is there a consistent way where you definitely always get enough speed? Now I should have it. Yeah, now I have it. At least once I got it. And now look, the speed in the uphill. I have a higher gear or something. Like I don't drop so much speed, and then I can easily jump here with the yellow boost as well. That's why it's so much better. Yeah. Now you see also how many other players actually got that jump. I lost in the other part quite a lot that I only end up in 7th, wow. But if you get the jump, yeah, then you beat easily, very easily, every other player that didn't make the jump, because you have multiple seconds of a lead then, yeah. But now comes the concern. Actually, so many people have gotten it, yeah. Also I was 4th, yeah, but so many people actually got it in this server already, and there are a lot of good players missing that are not even here. And so many got it. That's crazy, I have to say. So that seems like it is doable for people. And in the important matches, in the deciding matches, yeah, there's always a question like, what do you go for? Do you try it or do you not try it? I mean, you can always just go around the corner and see if you get enough speed. If you don't, then you just release. Ah, that could be enough. 256. Fifth place this time. 6th place is also close. I hate that section as well. Serrator builds it exactly in a way that it's shit. Ah. Would have been 5th. But at least I got it now twice in a row. And that's guaranteed a decent position. But still you can say at least 8 people actually got it. Yeah, so it is possible to get, but it's still so dangerous. Because you feel like so punished if you try to go for it and then you don't have the speed. Then you're really in the mud because you lose against everyone else that is not trying it. I wonder how many actually are not going for it. Ah yeah, no, this map as well. Oh. Or was it 10 maps in total, and it's going until 11 so that it so that we have a scoreboard at the end. Might be also. That might be the case. Because I'm not sure if there's one more track to come. I think we ended on this map before the match started. I guess since quite a while Heath has left the match. Don't really see him anymore. Yeah, look where my card is jumping. Often I touch even this white stuff. And people in the records are managing to jump further behind. Ah yeah, okay, so let's go. Obviously it doesn't work in the first attempt now. But why are so many people ahead? As if everyone would get that. It's not that free. It would be really good if I could play this together with Kana. What the fuck was that landing, man? My god, that's such a bad one. What is happening there? Uh, I tried to get top 10 still, but that's over now, I think. Also, I'm definitely not consistent enough on this map, you see that. Oh, that was close with the lamps. The lamps are really annoying here, sticking out everywhere. Oh, I'm kinda driving it down. Hard to say where the limit is before the car loses the grip. 2.6 behind first with that. But mostly I'm looking at the position, of course, as well, to see how the majority of players is doing. I'm not liking how many are actually ahead there. But 9th place in the end, but 4.3 behind Lufok, like holy moly. But 9th place is good points. 350. But not really gaining a lot to speed, so. Lufok actually, it's not that far in front. I thought he had a huge lead, but Tommy is not too far behind him. They all got good points there in front. Tommy, Quentin, and Dark Desert Gold, Appens. Thomas Shaw's not doing so good so far. But yeah. I can't believe it, like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do against this landing? I had everything under control. And it could have been fast start. Yeah, once you have that one respawn, you're kind of in a mud here in the positions. But this map is quite easy, you cannot really gain anything anymore. Somehow people did mistakes. Still 20th actually. So you saw all the maps now, and these were all built lately in August. I have no clue if I was qualifying for the Ascension finals, if then all maps will get used, so that I would need to practice the maps that were played in Ascension 1. I'm not sure if that's needed. Or if Serrator will build then new maps again. I mean, Gwen did practice these maps, he hunted some records where I wondered all the time, like, why is he doing that? Mann! Maybe he knows something. Dude, also I have no clue what's happening. Yeah, now this is my respawn or what? Okay, that was not the best round. Like, what the heck is happening in this landing? Oh, this was such an easy round to get good points. There were a lot of 50-for-second times. Far behind the leaders. Why am I hitting that? Sixth place. Yeah, was easy last round to get a good position. Lufok with another first place. Many people didn't finish there. I'm quite alone in my position, so I will stay on there. It would be the best for me if I was able to train together with Granadi offline, like both out of stream, just playing with him, understanding this stuff. Actually, it's not over, guys. We still have this map. We didn't play it. Yeah, we have 5 more rounds. I don't know why my car is always doing this. These are things that I would like to ask Granadi, if we found out stuff about that already. My car is always doing this side flip every time. The world record doesn't. I have no clue how I should even avoid that and why it's even happening, because I am jumping straight before. But once I touch the plastic, it's doing that. So I'm really unsure about it. This is, I think, the newest map from Serrator, I believe. It's a long map. You can tell. Ended right before the interesting part. Okay, let's go. And now I get it straightforward. If I land at the very end, then often, but that makes no sense. How am I only 20th? Huh? Was the straightforward bad for some reason? Okay, I got the soup and I couldn't keep control over the car then. Rip. There's still one part where I can catch up a lot. There's 2 parts. The first part is this one. Not perfect because of the last lamp, but it is okay. But now comes the... It's a cut. Like an intended one, I guess. But I don't get it. Yeah, rip. It's also such a map where it's unclear, like, should you go for it, should you not go for it? If you hit this part, then you win a few seconds, I guess. That is what usually happens, and it can't be good. Oh, I nailed that. You can also try faster, but I save it. Yeah, I got it quite often actually earlier. But now I don't get it at all. It's annoying. But I released now, so I can't make it. You kinda need to hit this one red boost here. Yeah, now I would get it. So you see, you jump directly onto that road. That's like the idea. I see a lot of people having that. Okay, I see a lot of people actually really getting it much faster, but how? I'm 66. They all landed earlier somehow. Hey, look at all these French cars. Oh, I couldn't decide what to do. I thought about to do the world record jump, but then I didn't know where it actually is. The line. If I want to come further in front, then I need to go for... Well, it doesn't matter. I had to go make cars on anyway, cars off anyway for that part. But yeah, let's try if I get it. How is now speed missing? Huh? How? Now I get it. Yeah, not scoring anymore. Yeah, there is a trick here for sure. If you know it, then please tell me. Yak. These are the things I need to find out. because now that I have a decent position, I get it as bad as never before. Nah. Short release in the air, okay. I mean, I released before I jumped. Maybe that plays a role. Ja, lol. First! Always these first tries of a new line. But now I'm back where I belong, huh? Got now only slowdowns afterwards. So I have my typical position here. Oh man, this entry onto the ice I also have to train, man. Alright, GG. I dropped a lot in the end. Actually, I almost got overtaken by a headmaster kill, but after so many rounds where I didn't do it. The guy ahead left now already the server. Yeah, I guess it was possible to reach top 10 if I just got consistent rounds in. But I guess for consistent rounds I can't go for the cut in the end. It's probably not even gaining you that much if you just avoid... if you just do the other line fast, like without that red boost you can still jump a lot to the left into the corner, I guess. I have to learn the ending with the ice for sure. Yeah. Okay, but yeah, that was the cup, the training cup, the training session. It just helps because you go through all the maps once, you see what times the others drive, you see what you need to reach. That's like the main thing. But yeah, now I need to understand certain parts for consistency here on this map. Very important to survive all the transitions and jumps. Always find a spot, what do I have to aim for at every jump, so you know that you will make it. That's crucial. Needs a lot of editor training tomorrow, and then hopefully I will be very good in the end. By the way, I played the Cup of the Morning today, and in the second knockout round, my Bitdefender program came up with a message and put me out of the game. I never had issues with Bitdefender, and now suddenly it happens so often. I'm really confused with that. Naja.